My name is Karen Costales, and my topic is disorders of eating habits and behaviors among girls and teenagers in the world. Definition: adolescence is a nutritionally vulnerable time period. Poor eating habits formed during adolescence can lead to obesity and diet-related diseases in later years. In addition, the high incidence of dieting behaviors can contribute to nutritional inadequacies and to the development of eating disorders. Primary care providers are in an optimal position to provide nutrition screening counseling to the adolescent patient and caregivers, and referral to a dietitian if needed. Applications in nutrition. While some adolescents struggle with eating too much and become overweight or obese, other youth overly restrict their food intake through the use of dangerous and unhealthy dieting practices and fail to meet their body's minimum nutritional requirements. As surprising as it may seem, some youth also excessively exercise their body in an effort to control their weight. While exercise is generally considered a healthy activity, it can misuse when the body is not provided sufficient rest and recovery periods, or when caloric intake is inadequate to meet the demands of the physical activity.
Sometimes it feels like you don't have anything to eat but that ice cream in the fridge or that hamburger from yesterday. So you go with yesterday's burger. But now you want something sweet. There goes the ice cream. You're thirsty now. We all know this happens to us every now and then. After eating all that junk food you start feeling, well, not so good. Which is why it is important to maintain a healthy diet. Especially growing up. Your healthy habits now will help your healthy habits a lot later. You need nutrients to function properly. Protein, carbs, and fats from nutrients provide our body's energy sources, also known as calories. Your body receives protein from meat, fish, poultry, dairy, and beans. Carbs provide the body with energy for your brain and muscles. About half of a growing teenager's calories should be from carbs. Teenagers get carbs from food high in carbs like bread, pastas, fruits, and vegetables. Although all fats aren't good for you, fats are needed for a growing body. Good fats include avocado, peanut butter, nuts, and fatty fish. Of course, you also need vitamins such as vegetables and fruits. Hydration for teenagers is also very important. But sugary drinks are not always the way to go. Water is the way to go. According to NPR, teens aren't getting enough water and some aren't getting any. Every day try to get around 7 to 10 cups of water, and if you are active you may even need more.
Pros and cons. Pros. Schools implement policies and practices to create a nutrition environment that support students in making healthy choices. A healthy school nutrition environment provides students with nutrition and appealing foods and beverages, consistent and accurate messages about good nutrition. Cons. The long-term effects of our poor habits include heart disease and cancer. Short-term effects, however, include decreased energy, shorter attention spans, and weight gain. Eating disorders are serious life-threatening conditions that affect a person's emotional and physical health, that can affect every organ system in the body.
These are the voices of feeding and eating disorders. These affect millions of Americans and usually begin during adolescence. Self-image, food, eating, and body weight each become a source of serious anxiety for people, and they experience distorted thinking and behaviors that cause problems in their lives. These disorders can even be life-threatening. I know. One of these voices is mine. My own diagnosis was anorexia nervosa. I know now that it can be one of the most dangerous of all mental health disorders. I'm so glad that I got help. Anorexia is diagnosed when someone restricts food intake and loses weight until he or she is significantly below a healthy body weight. In my case, I got really underweight, although I didn't see it that way. My menstrual cycle stopped and I was exhausted. I didn't worry about those things because I also felt great. Feeling in control of something in my life made it easy to deny there was a problem. A lot of people with anorexia feel the same way, but if it's left untreated, anorexia can cause really serious medical conditions like bone and heart problems, and even lead to death. There are other feeding and eating disorders, including binge eating and bulimia nervosa. In binge eating disorder, people eat large amounts of food in a really short period of time. They feel out of control and helpless about their desire to eat, yet they can't stop. Binge eating disorder can also lead to a lot of medical problems like obesity, high blood pressure and cholesterol, and diabetes. People say they feel disgusted with and ashamed of themselves, which may be a result of the behavior, but also might promote the behavior. Bulimia nervosa also includes binge eating. Feeling upset with themselves, people then try to compensate with purging behaviors. Purging can be done through intentionally vomiting, using laxatives, or exercising excessively. People develop problems with their teeth from vomiting, including worn or decaying enamel and pain, and can also experience a sore throat, dehydration, or stomach problems. As with other disorders, people with bulimia also feel a great deal of shame and try to hide their binging and purging.
Issues applied in Ecuador. In Ecuador, which in the last 9 years has risen from the low-income category to that of minimum income and with strong investments in health and education. Nutritional imbalance in 2012 among the population aged 5 to 11 years was 29.9% and 26.0% in those aged 12 to 19 years. The population aged less than 19 years represents the 30% of the total of Ecuadorians.
My son was on the wrestling team. When he cut weight by 2 classes, we started to worry.
We had always enjoyed family dinner together, but my daughter started to be very rigid about what she would eat. Eventually, she refused to join us and stayed in her room.
One of my boys would just sit and watch TV and eat snacks. I would find wrappers and food containers everywhere, and he gained 20 pounds in a month.
Our oldest daughter would leave the table to be by herself after every meal. She got sick all the time and looked so pale, but she wouldn't talk about what was going on.
These are the voices of parents who have noticed behavior in their children that could indicate a feeding or eating disorder. The most common of these disorders include anorexia nervosa, bulimia nervosa, and binge eating disorder. These are complex mental health conditions that often occur during the teenage years and can be the source of physical problems, emotional distress, and even medical crisis. Detecting feeding and eating disorders as early as possible is an important step in helping. Keep a few simple things in mind. Watch behavior. People with feeding or eating disorders often attempt to hide their conditions. Watch for behavior like withdrawing from family mealtime, refusing to eat certain foods, having a rigid rule about food, stockpiling or hiding food, calorie counting, excessive exercise, vomiting when not ill, or using laxatives. Try to connect. Talking about these challenges must be done empathetically, compassionately, and kindly. But the seriousness of the conversation must also be clear. People struggling with their thoughts about food and weight often feel alone, misunderstood, and hopeless. Unwavering support and personal connection from family is vital. Expect resistance. A person with a feeding or eating disorder can experience deep embarrassment, shame, guilt, fear, and hopelessness. It is important for family members to be as patient as possible. It often takes time and repeated efforts in order to successfully discuss concerns. Physical health can deteriorate. When feeding or eating disorders remain untreated and symptoms persist, family members may see dramatic changes in health, including sudden weight loss or weight gain, high or low blood sugar, easy or frequent bruising, unhealthy skin and hair, easily broken bones, gastrointestinal problems, rotting teeth, and other significant medical issues.
Conclusion. In conclusion, eating a balanced and varied diet and establishing healthy eating habits promotes young people's health, growth, and intellectual development across the life course. Most notably, a healthy diet and body weight reduces the risk of ill health and premature death from non-communicable diseases.